Everybody, Cheaply Chic, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today I decided to make a video on a little project that I created for my junk journal. I thought it would be a lot of fun to go back and remake this little file folder flip that I created in one of my process videos. If you would be interested in seeing that, I will link that video down below, where I was doing a little bit of a journal spread and created this flip in my journal. I created it on the fly, so it's the first time I ever did anything like this, and in the end I was wishing that I had created a little bit of a closure that I could have used on it. So I wanted to go back and remake that, which I did off camera, and this is what I created. I didn't add it to my traveler's notebook, but I'm planning on adding it to my regular junk journal. But I thought I would create something on camera today for those of you who are following along with my journaling process videos and might be interested in making one for yourself. This is definitely nothing that I am claiming that I came up with. There's a lot of tutorials and process videos out there on using file folders and flips and all kinds of things in your journals. So this is just something that I randomly created, and I just thought it would be a lot of fun to recreate with you guys, because again, my goal was to add a closure, which I'm super happy with this one. If I wanted to, I could go in and just glue it into my journal, or I can just stuff it in my journal and use it, you know, loosely, like a floating pocket or something. So I'm not going to go through and add all of these little pockets and tags. I was really thinking of it like a stash busting project. I have so many pockets and tags, so I'm like, you know what, I should just use those and create a lot of different little journaling spots as I was playing along with this one. Like I used this little coin envelope here, and I just layered pockets upon pockets. Here I just used a little cut apart from a paper pad, and then I kept this blank so I could add it into my book. So I just thought I would make the base with you guys and show you how I created it, and maybe add something a little simpler for the pockets along the way. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take our file folder. This is just an old file folder that I have in my stash. I personally like the fact that it has a letter on it. Any old file folder will work, obviously. It doesn't need to be an old one. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the base that I'm going to use. And I'm just going to cut my file folder. Again, I want the back side, and I want to keep the letter B. So now I have to try to measure and make sure I have that letter B at about 8 1/4 inches, because of the fact that my journal is 8 1/2 inches tall. I think I want it to be 8 1/4, and I apologize for the fact that not everything is in frame here. I really need to get a new setup in my new craft room so I can get a broader area of my desk. So including the letter, I'm cutting it at about 8 1/4 inches tall. Another difference between this file folder and the F, I actually used F for fall, right? Is the fact that this was on the edge, which made it very convenient, but this one is not. So I'm going to improvise again, and I want to cut off some of this folder. I don't know that I need it right up to the edge, because I'm going to try to make my measurements as close as possible. So let's just see what happens, and I'll try to give you guys an idea. I think I've left like 1/2 an inch here. Because of the way I'm folding it, you definitely want the first portion of the file tab, or the second at most, unless you're going to fold your folder differently, which it's a super simple process. So I'm sure everyone can figure that out on their own, but yeah, just to make a mention of that. Okay, the other thing I wanted to do was round this corner so it looks a little more natural, and this corner rounder isn't going to work for me. All right, so my corner rounder isn't working. I'm just going to take my scissors. This is not going to be pretty. I am not a naturally skilled trimmer. See what I mean? And these scissors, Lynette, take a bigger pair of scissors. Okay, I just don't want this to be so sharp. All right, that's good enough for me. And then I'm going to use my scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, you could just use a ruler and a bone folder, or just make a crease where it is that you want your measurements exactly. I am going to use the measurements that I had on this project. So see, because I trimmed the edge down, this tab is a little bit closer to the end, and I think I'm going to have plenty of room here. So the base of my flip, I want to be 4 inches because my book page is about 4.5 inches. So I'm going to score at 4 inches, and then I'm going to score at 7 inches and make a 3-inch fold. And because of where I trimmed my folder and how much I cut off, I have another, just about 3 inches here on this side. So it's 4 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches. On my original folder that I didn't trim, it was 4 inches, 3.5 inches, and 3 inches. Only the really important thing here is that if you want to do a tri-fold like me and you want it to fold in on itself, it needs to fit. So with 3 inches by 3 inches, folding in on 4 inches, that gives me enough room to add an eyelet so that I can create a little seam binding tie around the folder. That's really the only thing that's important, as long as it fits on your page. And if you want to copy me, that you have room for an eyelet and a closure. So that is what we're working with here. I'm going to grab some scrapbook paper and I'm just going to decorate this, and we'll speed up the video to save time, and I hope you enjoy the process. As I got started working on my file folder here, I decided I didn't want that black print to show, because when I cut my scrapbook paper, it's going to leave a little bit of a gap at the bottom. That's how I like it. So because of that, I just shaved off the bottom. No big deal. It's not like our measurements have to be exact or anything. So it's still going to fit on my page, and it's just going to have the final look that I want. The collection that I decide to use is the new Maggie Holmes Heritage collection. These papers are so beautiful. I was so excited to finally get to play with it. I picked mine up on scrapbook.com, so for anyone who might be interested, I will leave a link down below for that. Another paper pad that I play with is by Pink Paisley, and it's called Auburn Lane. This is something that I picked up at Tuesday Morning. I'm not sure if it's still available, but I will look online, and if it is, I will leave a link for that in the description box down below. I love the way that the colors blend together so beautifully. It is another gorgeous paper collection, so I loved finding it at Tuesday Morning, of course, and yeah, it just makes for a great project. Another thing that I grab is a sticker pack that is from the same Maggie Holmes Heritage collection. So I had a lot of fun with that, and I will link that in the description box down below as well. So I'm showing you my eyelet setter here because the one that I really love to use isn't made anymore. We Are Memory Keepers quit making this eyelet setter, and now they make the CropaDile. So I'm just showing the two together so that you know it's basically the same tool. It does the same thing. But to be honest, I have used this other punch type setter for so long, I have not figured out the CropaDile. I just really like the one that I have. So I just wanted to show you the CropaDile so you know that this is the tool that's available now. And the last thing I'm going to reach for, other than those stickers that I previously mentioned, are some tags and little pockets out of my stash. I'm super excited to add these to the folder. I'm going to use this in my regular junk journal like I mentioned, and I'm just going to add a few things that I'm grateful for throughout the month as I think of them. that makes me pretty happy. It's pretty basic, but now when I go in and when I decide how I want to use this, I can do my journaling on the tags, and I can add some more decoration and stickers or ephemera, whatever I, feel like doing. So now I have a piece of coffee dyed seam binding. You could use any type of ribbon here. Flatter is probably better if you plan on gluing it to the inside of your journal. So I'm just going to feed that through my eyelets and wrap it around the back side. And then for now, I'm just going to tie it closed, and I can go in and add this to my journal whenever I feel like I'm ready for it. I'm probably not going to use it in this journal because this is pretty packed already, but that Maggie Holmes paper is so beautiful, and this will look beautiful in my regular junk journal as well. All right, you guys, and that is it. I hope that you found this video a little bit inspiring and that you're going to go and play around with some file folders yourself. They really are a lot of fun. There's so much that you can do with them. So thank you guys again so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.